Alright, let's just get this out of the way. Howdy, everybody. I've been playing on PlayStation ever since PlayStation 2. So that means PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and now PlayStation 5. Some might even say I'm a bit of a Sony Pony. Heck, that's the title of this video. Now, what does that mean? Well, see, Sony is one of those companies that I think is vastly misunderstood. Like, everybody wants the underdogs to win, and I see Sony as being not necessarily the underdog, but like just the standard, the industry standard. But it wasn't always that way. No. See, in the beginning, they were, up against the likes of Sega and Nintendo, the Nintendo 64 or the Ultra 64, as people were calling it back in those times. And it was supposed to have, arcade graphic quality, blah blah blah, and you can play Killer Instinct from the arcade cabinet. Part two, that is, like with all the FMVs and stuff that they threw in there, and all the animations, and we're like, oh my god, this is the future. The game's gonna be look so good, and then the N64 came out, and you're just like, okay. I mean, it's in 3D. There's no load times really, but it's not what we were promised, what we were advertised. It was a vast, a huge departure from what we were expecting. Like Nintendo was that console, right? Specifically the Super Nintendo that was like the high quality. You weren't gonna find outside of like I don't know some like fancy computers and whatever, those kinds of graphics and games and stuff. And it was also like the developers. Nintendo had that prestige, but the problem was people don't understand this about the Super Nintendo, the SNES. Was Sony actually designed the sound chip for it, the decoding of the sounds. So instead of having those arcade board sounds from like let's say the Sega Genesis that uses that whatever that Yamaha whatever it's called again, um, they just like from the ground up a brand new microchip, and you can have like I mean at the time really low quality, but still like you have like some games have voice acting. The music was much higher quality. You wouldn't get those feedbacks with most TVs because most TVs were, either AV and or cable inputs, right? So you throw in the cables. Or I think they had those displays, the one, two, three, the display, and then the left and the right. I don't know if that actually came out because oh yeah, that was called S Video. I got that for PlayStation 2, so no, it didn't come out for N64. We were still running the cable thing. And then Sony came out with its fledgling system, and everyone was like tripping out. They're like, "Oh my God, Sony!" Right? Like I still remember walking up in the stores, playing Armored Core, playing, all these amazing games that you'd only find on the PlayStation at that time. And it was just like I was like, dealing with like that separation anxiety where I knew that this was a much higher quality product than the competition, but I still, had brand loyalty to Nintendo, but the N64 changed me, specifically towards the end of the cycle, where compared to its contemporaries, like you're not even like hitting like a 10%. Like you don't even have 10% of the library of games that your competition has, and Sega Saturn and Sony were sharing games between each other, like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, all their although technically speaking, because like Sega had the whole RAM upgrade. Like both they came out on both systems. So points for trying on PlayStation One's behalf. Despite all the limitations, right? Like people who've been gaming on Sony consoles, specifically from from the beginning all the way up until three, have been dealing with the limitations. But they much like Nintendo and other developers, game developers, manufacturers, they came through. And then you like went to PlayStation 4, which I was hesitant about because I was like to myself, well, if I have a PC and I'm paying for the internet, might as well just not like double dip and pay for more internet to play more games and stuff, right? I didn't really see the potential, and that was back in the day when PSN was much cheaper, so much more cheaper. All those times, even now is complaining. But here we are today, where not only is it necessary to play online. I think it's mostly for monitoring and like, updates and all that stuff, private servers to an extent, right? But here I'm showing off two brand new games that like I didn't pay for, but at any time I have my subscription service, right? With PSN, I can just play these games for free. So Ace Combat and Subnautica Below Zero. Like amazing games. I would say 9 out of 10 games just for free for absolutely no reason. Well, you could be cynical and say, well, maybe they're trying to help Bandai Namco advertise their newest Ace Combat game, which I'm actually kind of looking forward to because it's going to be the first time that Ace Combat has been on the new console. So it's also going to be on the Xbox, PC side, yada yada, right? Well, I'm a huge, huge Sony pony because outside of the Steam box, Xbox, Steam box, Xbox, yeah. Oh, Steam Machine, my bad. I got them mixed up. We got these consoles, dude. So outside of Steam, right? I mean, like the console space isn't doing so well. Like I've been watching video after video, not only on the latest games. Oh, and just as a quick aside, I am happily mistaken about Crimson Desert on many fronts. First of all, the foliage system wasn't properly implemented, or like I don't know, they patched it in, and now the world looks glorious. It's obviously it's not on the quality of Ghosts of Tsushima or Yote, but it's up there. It's up there, man. I would say actually, due to the density of like the what, and that's mean. Because like, Elden Ring came out on PS4, so Elden Ring 2, is going to be like amazing, phenomenal. But like, yeah, it is a more densely vegetative, like the flora, the trees, the wind, the weather effects. So far, I haven't not seen snow or rain yet, but like I'm saying, like most people are writing this game off, Crimson Desert, because it's a thinking man's game. Like you have to approach it not only as a Devil May Cry game because people are complaining about the lock-on, which is the exact same system. I don't know if it's a one-to-one where you have like back motion, back away from the character does a separate attack, then towards the character when controlling the analog stick like Devil May Cry, and then releasing the analog stick, you do another bunch of different melee moves. And people they don't like it because they just want to press the button once and then they stay locked on, and they don't understand the nuance of Devil May Cry. It's again, I still haven't beaten Dante Must Die mode. It's Virgil, dude, and it's not like the end game boss Virgil. It's the one who's sitting on the chair. I swear, this is the revenge of Japanese people against me. For all the times I was mean to them on Lost Planet 2. He just like pulls out the tentacles. Hey, what's up? Hey, you want some hentai? I'm fucking dying every time. Like I can't even get mad at it because it's like, man, Lost Planet 2. Those are the days, man. Those are the days. It just makes me laugh every time I see it. Uh, but yeah, like Crimson Desert, alongside like developer like in-house game developers like Sony, Valve. I don't know what to say about Microsoft. I really don't know what to say. Like I used to be one of those guys that had like a lot of confidence, and you'll see me play some Microsoft exclusive game. Well, previously, right, locked to the Xbox original Xbox. What was it called again? Metal Wolf Chaos, right? And of the like there's still the Otogi games and Kingdom Under Fire, which are locked on the original Xbox, and then Chrome Hounds. Like they were in the past a very capable, talented development studio that worked in conjunction with other, game developers, software developers. But as of late, I really don't know what to say. Like, there's it's coming out on play PS5. I mean, if you want to get it, go right ahead. But I am a man who is obsessed with like all these games, so you can take that with a grain of salt. They're coming out with Starfield on PS5. Yo, PS5, what's up, man? You're the greatest console of all time. Before you rub it in their face, we're taking away their Halo. Can you imagine all these like kids who grew up playing Halo? Like Halo is like one of those, don't mess with my feelings type game. But like, you already did it to yourselves, right? Like, can you imagine how they're gonna feel when you see it on the PlayStation? I can tell, man. And I'm not like, I'm not part of this whole like, bashing people over like whatever piece of plastic they choose to buy type shit. But I just find that shit to be funny. Like, yo, man, how indoctrinated do you have to be like, yo, man, Xbox this, Xbox that? Yo, wasn't everybody saying something about the cloud gaming, about how things are gonna go on the cloud, and you're gonna have like a good time? Everything is gonna run super fast. I think like the one that really hurt me the most was seeing this game called, what was it called? Just, well, not Just Cause, my bad. It was like this cop game, and you were playing like this futuristic cop guy, and it was supposed to be voiced by Terry Crews. Crews, sorry. Game was a disaster. The graphical downgrade was abysmal. The AI downgrade was abysmal. It was almost as if like the people who made the newer one didn't actually know about the other games or worked on the other games. It's like a completely different game. It's terrible. So like think about it like this. It's like Grand Theft Auto, except you play as the good guys, and you can't harm. Well, you can harm civilians. You get in trouble and you get a game over, right? You lose money. So it's like in your best interest to be the cool cop, the good cop, and then your like car can transform. It was like into it. It tried something different, right? And I noticed that like they were trying to push this thing where I was into physics at the time. I was trying like Hawken, like this free to play game, was trying to push this thing on with Nvidia, and this was back in the day when all the consoles were carrying the Nvidia 3D card inside of them. Oh my goodness, how times have changed, right? Because to my knowledge, I'm not sure if it was no, there was no GPU or 3D card or whatever in the PS2, but in the PS3 they did have an Nvidia, and the PS4 and the PS5 carries an AMD, and so does the Xbox because Nvidia said, you know what, I don't want to play games. I want to turn reality into a game. AI driving cars, AI driving everything. You're living in a game world. It's like Frogger in real life, and you're the frog. Can you run across the street owned by Nvidia? Let's find out. Yeah, man, like we were falling on dark times, right? Because, like it or not, it made a difference. And I'm not trying to hate on AMD's 3D card, like I mean GPU, sorry. It's an amazing piece of work, and like the PSSR and all the ray trace technologies in the PlayStation Pro, it is something I think that future-proofed the PlayStation pretty much 25 to 50% into the PlayStation 6 lifespan. Like if people are still gonna be popping off of like the PlayStation Pros and shit, even though all these people are talking mad amounts of shit on it, because all these games, no matter what anybody says, is being pushed with the frame gen in mind, frame artificial frames, basically. This new frame gen technology, DLSS, PSSR in the PlayStation Pro. I don't know what the hell Xbox is doing, if they're doing anything. And Nintendo, we're just gonna give you a boost so you can get 1080. They're getting a boost. Yo, you want 1080p? Oh, by the way, it fucking ruins your battery life on your fucking hand, homo. I don't mean to like laugh so hard, but it's like damn. Like outside of Japan, Nintendo is not a console to like really be like it's more like a Japanese pride thing and like a historical thing. I was watching this other thing about like this guy and him and his wife are like lifelong Nintendo fans, and they're wondering why is Nintendo becoming the new Microsoft, like nickel and diming them. For like, okay, you can't play, what was it, Mario Kart Online with the elimination part, which was one of the fun modes. And he's like with his wife, and it's like they both have separate switches, switch twos, mind you. Oh my god, what? You're paying like next gen money. You would have bought like a base PlayStation 5, for that money. But instead, that shit bucks. And you can't even play your stupid ass Mario Kart game. And this is why I'm showing off this game, David X Machina. Not just because I love, mecha games in Japan and all that shit. But guess what? It runs better. It runs better. Yo, imagine, dude, you pay the same amount of money and you're running this at 1080p. Damn. Damn. Oh man, I just had to make this video to like style on Nintendo specifically, and especially their fanboys, because they're the ones that are holding these games back. Like I want this game to do well, but you can tell by just me playing it, like the Sony PlayStation 5 is not struggling in the slightest to run it. It's like, can you please give me some more shit to do? How about you download something in the background and like stream a movie at the same time? I'm bored here. Like, what is this fucking game? Dude, I love Sony. I'm looking for. Oh, by the way, I picked up Neo 3, so I'm gonna be showing you footage of that. But I don't want to include it because I'm gonna spend like an hour or two editing my character to make him look like Sashomaru. Last time I had my character, he was like this Japanese samurai guy, and he had like I wouldn't say he was like a yakuza. There was like this poem, and I put it on his face because it was like this, tattoo that you can put on your characters. All right, have fun, and remember, Sony wins.